You see? Hey, my friends, let's look at this. Oh, some magician guy here. How is he able to do that? Is that just the bandana there? Oh my god. Is this magic, witchcraft, or just some tricks that we cannot understand? Oh, this is insane, man. You can see that guy seated next to him is pretty surprised. Yeah, but there's this good vibes guy here who wants to show us how it goes down. Hey, this is how it happens. How is he able to do that? Wait a minute. Hey, wait, my friends. Are you surprised? Let's see how this guy did it. I knew this one must have been a trick. It's like there was some metal inside or at the edges of the tower, which could make this stuff to stand strong, and you think it's nothing suspending it there in the air. Humans and their tricks, man. They are just fantastic. This is why we really preach honesty here. Because even tricks like this, you could have understood them long time ago, and it could all be good vibes for everybody. You see? What do you think? Hit the like button there, my friend. Please kindly, and leave some comments. Yo. Wait. What is this thing that this good vibes guy came across? Oh, do you think this is a UFO, a big drone, or some crazy stuff? What is that thing? It looks weird, man.
Is the biblical flood upon us? An alarming amount of people around me and online have been telling me about dreams, about tsunamis, apocalypse, comets coming onto Earth. Now, if you are in the spiritual community, you are aware of the term pole shift. Earth has a natural magnetic field. This is talked about in science. I'm not making this up. This magnetic field has poles, like a magnet should. Now, the spiritual community keeps talking about a pole shift because guess what? The poles of Earth, Mother Earth's magnetic field is tied directly to humanity. Meaning, in a way, we are responsible for the pole shift that is happening. If you understand the fundamentals of existence, everything is connected. Nothing really separates you from anything. Your DNA is directly correlated to Earth. Now, according to a lot of spiritual teachers, the pole shift is actually not a good thing. It's not supposed to happen. According to spiritual teachers like Asha and Nadine, whose teachings are very similar to mine, if not exactly the same, because we believe the same things, reversal pole shifts are actually a sign that the human consciousness is descending instead of ascending. We are in chaos and turmoil, our crown chakras are blocked, our chakra systems are ruined, or are about to be. And because Mother Earth, hence the word mother, is connected to us, feels this, and we are connected to her, we end up reversing the poles and creating the deluge upon ourselves. Now, I'm not Christian or religious, but the Bible does get this right. If you look at the time of Noah's flood, the deluge, humanity before the flood, like right before the flood, was at its worst. Everything was going wrong. We were doing every sin in the book. And this is what I'm talking about when I say descension instead of ascension. Instead of choosing the higher path and higher knowledge, humanity at that time chose to be sinful. That lowers your vibration, that lowers your frequency, that creates a pole shift, which creates the flood, the biblical flood, the deluge. We are at a precipice in which the scientists literally are warning us that the poles could shift at any moment. We as humanity need to take our spiritual path more seriously. We are our own worst enemy. Yes, the powers that be, powers that were, the elite, they do a lot of things against us as well. They keep us ignorant to these things. But truth be told, we are also highly, highly responsible for our own stupid actions. And if we don't ascend or collective consciousness raise in vibration quickly or quick enough, what you're looking at that's about to happen is another Noah's Ark. Why do you think the powers that were are creating these underground bunkers? They're not stupid. And truthfully, they want you to make the poles shift. They want you to destroy your own home, your own world, so they can restart their kingdom of hell on earth.
Hey, look at this. This good vibes bad here found some fish almost at the shore. And it's probably wondering what's up with this one. It's like this. Oh my god. This fish is what's up with it? It's heading towards the shore or what, man? Oh, I doubt. maybe he's having some trouble, so going back to where there's a lot of water. And this bird here looks sympathetic towards the fish, you see, and decided to go and call his friend who has a stronger beak, so that they can come and carry the fish back to its home, you see, that it can go back there, have some good time with the family, and explain what it saw at the show, you see. These animals are wonderful. You see, this bird came and took the fish back home. My friends, the fish must have felt extremely nice, you see, because it saw that there is also some other caring creatures on this earth. And it's wonderful, man. We should always be caring and loving to our neighbors as we love ourselves, you see.
Hold your hat on for this story, folks. This story is insane. This will be the craziest story you heard this year. And it's for entertainment purposes only. Social media, entertainment purposes only. Listen, if you remember Angel, his family is the one that said the UFO crashed in their backyard last year. And they saw 10-foot beings. Remember Angel? Now the news went and talked to him a year later. Angel said demonic incidents are happening in his house. He said Jesus was ripped off a cross and hung in the air in his house, floating in the air. A Jesus floating in the air. He went by it and it dropped. The Bible was taken off his dresser and floated in the air. He said all of this has been going on since that day. He said they had a priest over the house. The priest thinks it's fallen angels. But since the priest was there and blessed the house, the incidents have stopped for a while now. They interviewed neighbors of Angel. And the neighbors said the day they said the UFO crashed in the backyard and the beings were there, their cameras didn't work. Their TVs didn't work. Everything in their electricity world was not working. Folks, do you believe this story? This is so crazy. Why would you make something like this up? Put in the comments if you think this is real. What is going on? Do we really know what's going on? Unbelievable. Craziest story you heard today.
Oh, my friends, what is really going on? Please leave comments. Some really, whoa, look at this one. It's like it was hovering around the water there and taking something from the water. Oh my God. Those guys.
You will find that construction was begun somewhere around the idea of 10,500 BC.
What was its purpose?
The idea of many of those things is to act as capacitors and energy generators for the idea of allowing people to get into a certain state that allows them to explore and express more of themselves.
Was life force energy ever used?
Life force energy exists in all of you. So of course it was used. Is that the way you meant that?
Yeah.
How can you not use life force energy?
It's everywhere, yeah. Let me see.
Are you asking if life force energy was amplified by the structure?
Yes.
Yes.
How so? Is it by
the proportions?
The material, the minerals?
The material to some degree, but mostly the proportions. Because many of these ideas of temples and structures on your planet are built to what you call golden mean proportions. And that is the mathematical structure of how physical reality lays itself out. So when you build things with those kinds of proportions, you will then cause resonance to happen in certain ways that will build the energy up and amplify it to the purpose that the structure has been built for.
Was the whole temple made out of sea minerals? Sandstone?
Not completely, but mostly, yes.
Okay.
But again, it will depend upon what's available in the area. Adjustments may be made for the kind of material that needs to be used.
Was it ever used for metaphysical restoration?
What are you defining as metaphysical restoration?
Healing.
Yes.
Was it also used to activate the pineal gland?
Yes. In fact, activating the pineal gland or aligning the pineal gland activation is one of the strongest things that a lot of such temples were used for on your planet in your history. Because it was understood that pineal gland activation at certain frequencies allows you to actually commune with other dimensions very clearly.
So you're saying people that were depressed, having cancer, they would go to these temples and be cured from...
Yes, they would cure themselves.
I see.
by allowing themselves to align with the vibration that was amplified in that temple. Now, sometimes the idea of the priests would allow themselves to also give off that frequency to create a resonance atmosphere, a resonance bubble, that if the person to be healed then allowed themselves to match that frequency, then they would heal themselves. Yes, they would align themselves.
You mentioned before that the temple was made by the Khmer civilization, am I correct?
Yes, but I said that you don't really understand exactly what the Khmer civilization was.
Is Khmer pronounced today as Khmer in the Cambodian language?
You can ask a Cambodian.
Okay. You also mentioned that people were trained to raise their vibration and
As you are training yourselves right now.
to perceive architecture's proportions and dynamics. How so?
In a variety of ways. Do you have an interest in the idea of proportions and the resonant dynamics that attend those ideas of proportion?
Like the type of vibrational atmosphere that they had. Can you describe how it was?
It cannot really be described, it must be experienced. So if you will build a chamber out of whatever materials you are attracted to in the appropriate proportions that are representative of those golden means, you will have the experience yourself of what those vibrational resonances are like.
Okay. Were they
If that is exciting to you.
were the Khmer civilization had any connections to Atlantis or Sirius?
Both, to some degree.
Okay.
But also to what you would call Lemuria in ancient times. Or really, in their own language, Mu.
Mu.
Yes, Mu. Lemuria is a term that comes later in your history. It's not what they called themselves. They called themselves Mu.
I see. Were the Khmer civilization survivors of Atlantis?
There was some influx, but not as much. The idea, really, of the Atlantean spread was mostly to what you know as the North and South and Central Americas, and also to the idea of the Northern Africa, Mediterranean, and European theater. Eventually, some of the influence made its way across the Asian continents, but more it is the idea of a Muan connection. Does that help you?
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
Yes. I recently showed you the cube
Yes.
before. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Well, you said it had connections to Sirius.
Yes.
I do practice these seashells
Yes.
on other people, and recently I had a person seeing a blue star.
Yes. Well,
Wait.
that's the vibrational color of Sirius.
I see.
The blue-white star.
He was also seeing an image of a lizard. Could you tell me more on that?
The idea is not exactly what you would call a lizard. There is a physical species that inhabits that system along with the non-physical consciousness that also is connected to that system. The physical species that inhabits that system that has visited your Earth in the past is a type of amphibious being, a little bit more closely resembling the idea of a salamander more than a lizard, but not exactly that either. So they had a slight interpretive difference in their perception of the being, but they were somewhat close. But it's not the idea of the reptilians that people are talking about on your planet.
I see. He also saw a reptoid. Could you...
No, I will not comment on that.
Okay. Also, there was other people, including myself, seeing formulas from when using the cube.
All right. So how do you wish to use that information? How do you wish to apply it in your physical reality?
Could you tell me more on these formulas?
No. You have to be the one to discover these things. This is your process. I'm not going to open your presents for you.
Are those
You
formulas...
must follow your excitement and your imagination and see where it leads. You must make your discoveries. It's your process.
I see.
We have already given you some information regarding the idea of clues that lead to resonant chambers that are certain proportions based on the idea of certain golden proportions. That's our clue. That's what we're allowed to give you. You must move forward and take that to whatever degree your imagination desires to discover the rest of the information regarding these formulas.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. Even fish can be petty. What's up with this one? Hey, it's like these ones have neighbor disputes. Oh my god. What type of playing is this? First put a little bit, then a little bit, then put a team and see how they lift it to the hole. These animals are very intelligent. Ants. Hey, they are now probably wondering, how do we get this through our hole? See how they go about it. See, these ones, they're pretty clever, you see? And they come, many of them, they are probably having a discussion there on how to go around this stuff. And it's like they've figured it out. Oh, look at this ones. Hey, wait. Now this one is unity, my friends. This is what we are always talking about. Unity. As humans of all earth, and you can do incredible stuff. If these ants for real can make it, then just know, my friends, we can also make it as one. You see? What? Is this a normal, ordinary bull, or what do you call this one? Wait. It's pretty big, man. How? Do you mean bulls can get this big? Look at the horns. Oh my god.
You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because the heart and the brain are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think creates an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network of 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same ones in your brain. So the heart is your second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause confusion and dualism. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the brain. However, it's a singular organ. It does not have two hemispheres. So when we say follow your heart, this is a deep meaning because the heart has an intelligence of its own which is guiding you. And this is why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. In Freemasonry, the heart is symbolized as the book because the heart intelligence is what you need to read to guide you through this life experience. The heart is what tells you what is right and what is wrong. And when you follow your heart long enough, it takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to listen to your heart intelligence. You have to turn off the thoughts, place your hand on your heart just like Jesus's, and this will tell you the right answer. They don't want us connected to our hearts because we are all an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies, and love is the unifying force that will bring humanity together.
No, man. Love is good vibes.
Look, they spotted the block. It's only for a couple seconds. Look at that shit. So for those who don't know, the blob is basically supposed to be one of the biggest sea creatures that exists in the ocean, supposedly. Everybody thought to believe the megalodon, but it's really the blob. Right here, this is like a baby blob, and this is a blue whale. They said, the blue whale is supposed to be the biggest ocean creature, but nah, bro. The blob is given the name of a mysterious underwater sound recorded in the 1990s, right? They try to tell people that it was just ice shells breaking in Antarctica and all that, right? But they said that the sound was so scary that it sounded like a group of 90 blue whales from one sound. Now, this is supposed to be a 3D image of like how big the blob is compared to a human. And y'all wonder why people scared to be in the ocean, right? We're gonna run it real quick one more time. Look, y'all, look at that shit. Oh my god!
Oh my god! That creature we saw in another episode, it has over 500 teeth. You see? Yeah, and then there's this one. Oh, wait. My friends, what is this stuff here? Hey, it looks like some stone-made creature. Hey, where is it going? Where is this even? Hey, is this on the ocean, on land, or what's going on? This is crazy. My friends, what do you think this is? Oh my god. This is unbelievable. Looks like some dragon, some giant snake. How can you even explain this? Oh, this is some scary stuff. Do you mean this is a real creature, or is this just some CGI stuff we are seeing here? So you really need to be honest. People cannot make up stuff just to scare the others, you see? And now stuff like this, we cannot know if it's real or not, unless we just be honest with one another, you see? Wonderful soul, kindly hit the like button, you see? Help us in spreading love across the whole world. And to those that have clicked for the first time, the new guys, new subscribers, much welcome, man. Hit the subscribe button there and the membership, all those buttons you can see there, and good vibes, you see, apart from the unlike one. And it shall be nice with you, good soul, you see. Hey, now this stuff, my friend, you as yourself, after you have seen it, what can you say this is, you see? Myself, I have no clue, no idea of what this might be. And if I was to take a guess, maybe I could say it's a dragon, of which I have never seen it myself. I think it's a creature in...
You mentioned paranormal activity. What exactly did you see?
Were the 8 to 10 foot Las Vegas alien creatures actually something creepier? Perhaps. 17-year-old Angel Kenmore, who previously reported seeing non-human alien creatures in his backyard, is now experiencing even stranger phenomena at his family's Las Vegas home. He claims to have seen a cross floating and Bible pages flipping by themselves with no breeze around. Kenmore believes that there's a connection between the creatures he reported in his family's backyard last year and the current phenomena inside his house. Now, he isn't so sure that they were extraterrestrial, but perhaps fallen angels. The Kenmore family, shaken by these events, is now looking to move. Could these have been some sort of interdimensional beings? What do you think?
Well, I was in another room, my brother called me, and there was a upside down cross, and there was a Jesus statue in it. They ripped Jesus out of it, they threw him like across the room, and it was floating upside down.
Are you saying floating in the air?
Yeah, like in the air, it was floating upside down.
And you can say definitively, without lies, that that is what you saw?
Yes, swear to God, that's what I saw.
Okay, and what about the Bible? What did you tell me about the Bible?
Oh yeah, the Bible. So I was chilling normal. There was just a Bible just going like this, flipping the pages, but it was like steady, like it wasn't because of the air. It was steady, like somebody was holding it. As soon as I got close to it, it dropped again. We had a couple priests come over to the house, pray over the house, and everything seems to be normal again.
Are you connecting all these things together, everything you saw in your backyard to the things you've experienced over these past few months?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I think so.
With all of the paranormal activity happening inside your house, are you thinking about moving away?
Oh yeah, soon I'm gonna move away from this house, yeah.
Everybody or just you?
Everybody, I think.
You guys are done with this place?
Yeah.
No, man, we had another previous episode with that guy's story, you see?
What's interesting is we have from the center here, where I've put a stylized Om symbol, the sound of the universe, we have 12 rays, we have 12 emanations. And remember that quote that we did in the previous chapter on the Rig Veda? It said 12-spoked wheel, 3 navels, who understands this? This was written 3,000 years ago, and here we have another 12-spoked wheel emanating zeros and fives. So even that is a beauty on its own. But I want to lead on to a discovery.
A lot of people claim to be conspiracy theorists, and a lot of people claim to chase conspiracies and chase the truth. But you can't chase the truth home on your butt. You gotta actually get out there and chase it. Check this out. See that thing right there? I think that's a ruin. See the face? See the headdress? You can't see my finger. There's a face right there, dude, with the headdress, and it looks like a pair of legs. And I'm gonna come back with my shovel, I'm gonna start digging it out. That's how you chase conspiracies. Peace. Check out my ruin. That's a ruin. That's a face. That's a headdress. Chase your fucking conspiracies.
How do you think that good vibes guy came across, yeah?
There we go. Particle stabilized. I should have picked a different t-shirt. Let's move it over my skin. A circle of wire, male to female, connected at that end. I'm going to take it all the way from the back. I'm going to move it all the way through the front. And I'm going to turn it side on. And do the same again. Get the ring, put it behind it. All the way to the front. Now I'm going to go over the top, down and pull it from the side. Absolutely no string. And the other thing is when I turn the switch off, it's going to drop.
Oh man, that is interesting. Very interesting.
And you can't deny it. So you start your journey at the Arctic, as far to the north as you can. And you begin to go south. Now notice, as I'm going south, I have to continue dipping the nose of my airplane in order to stay level with the ground. Now I'm going to continue all the way to Antarctica. Now notice, I'm continuing to dip my nose down to stay level with the earth. Now I'm going down into South America, continuing to dip down, and finally I get down here to Antarctica. And look at that. My airplane is upside down. Well, you're going to say, well, we know that people that are in the southern hemisphere are still standing right side up. Everybody stands right side up on the earth. We know that. But yet you just flew down here. You're upside down. You cannot refute that. Your airplane is upside down and your head is facing down. It has to be true because you have had to adjust your nose by a full 180 degrees so that now you are absolutely upside down. You can't deny that proof. That's the simplest, irrefutable flat earth proof.
Where he separated the waters below from above, they're flat and level. It's the sky plane. The sky only appears to curve, just like the ground. There is no curvature in the sky. There's no curvature on the earth.
Well, Dave, the SpaceX Falcon 9 is going to launch from Vandenberg Air Force Base, and it's going to launch in just about a minute, maybe a little less here, to see the trail it's leaving behind. Absolutely amazing. And to describe it to you from, I mean, you can see.
This hole is 7.8 miles. And while they were digging that hole, while they were drilling that hole, they were using ground penetrating radar to see what they're going to hit next. And they were wrong every step of the way. No more rocks, no more water. They hit rocks, they hit water, right? They were wrong. And then they hit an impenetrable barrier. They tried for years to get through and they couldn't. And then they gave up. But then somehow we have a meme that shows us a cross-section of the Earth, the next 4,000 miles. They know exactly what's there. They couldn't get the first 7.8 miles right, but they know the next 4,000. And everyone's seen the meme of the Earth with the molten magnetic core. Another thing that they're laughing at us, because you can't have a molten magnet. Any magnet of any type, you heat it up, and before it melts, it hits the Curie point, and it loses all its magnetism.
Have y'all heard about the recent claim from the heliocentric priests? They're saying that the core has stopped spinning, and it's now spinning the opposite direction, which is going to cause all this chaos.
Well, this morning we are learning about a shift in the Earth's inner core that sounds like the plot of a Hollywood blockbuster. Scientists say our planet's solid core, which is actually disconnected from the rest of the Earth's layers, may actually have stopped rotating and could even reverse course. What does this mean?
Well, at first it sounds like something from a Hollywood movie.
Right.
The script says, oh my God, the core of the Earth is spinning backwards.
How do they know this? I just want to know, how do they know what the core is doing if they've only been down 8 miles? How is that possible? We've only, as humans, dug down a maximum depth of 8 miles. How do they know what's 3,000 miles down? Makes no sense.
So if you look at a magnetic field on our ferrocell, you have something called the inertial plane or the block domain wall. That would be where we reside. We live within a magnetic field. And you can only go so far down before you're actually going to have the reciprocation of that energy or that magnetic field. We know the deepest hole ever dug is around 7.8 miles, which seemingly correlates to the deepest area in the ocean, of course, the Mariana Trench. So the way that I see it is you're actually living on the inertial plane within the magnetic field, which actually then begins to make all celestial phenomena fit perfect within the toroid. And of course, this entire idea that there's this magic magma core made of nickel and iron that's spinning at a different speed than the Earth spins is a complete fiction made up of seismic activity and speculation. And actually, when you look further into that, they say that that causes the magnetic field with something called convection currents. You have the geomagnetic field from the geodynamo model, and actually you would have a symmetrical magnetic field coming from the core, as it is a
a sphere, you would have the same magnetic field in the north and the south. But what the evidence actually shows is that it is not symmetrical at all, and in the south the magnetic field gets up to 30% weaker. There's something called the South Atlantic anomaly, which shows that at 100% it's not some symmetrical dynamo effect causing the magnetic field. If you actually look further into the dynamo model, there's about 50 questions that have gone unanswered. They can't even get the math to work with supercomputers. It's pure speculation that they can't get to work, and it seems that actually we are just prohibited from going too far down based on pressure mediation within a magnetic field.
There was a famous scientist that sent a submarine down and hit the bottom of the ocean and wasn't able to penetrate the bottom of the ocean, as if there was some type of water barrier firmament.
One of the strangest places on the ocean's floor was only just discovered in the 1990s. At 9 degrees, one of a handful of people to ever see it in person. Without a doubt, one of the most amazing things that I have ever seen in the bottom of the ocean. It was while filming for Blue Planets in the Gulf of Mexico. I noticed there's something out in the distance. Couldn't tell exactly what, but it looked like a dark band. And as we approached it, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut. It was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of steam over it. And then I looked, and there was water lapping against the shoreline. This band was a ring of mussels. And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm already underwater. We went out over the water in this lake and tried to descend in it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down in it. We literally bounced off, and as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline.
My friends, you see all these videos that you get to see here are strictly for entertainment purposes only. And when you see something mind-blowing or fascinating, please kindly do your own further research and leave us details there in the comment section of what you will get in the research, you see? And also hit the like button. Please, you see, I say we hit the like button in every part of the video, because I believe when we hit the like button, all of us, every single person that has watched, we can spread love to the whole world. And these videos can reach a lot of people, you see? Always also hit the notification bell, so that you can be notified when you upload our good vibes videos, my friend, you see? Because I believe yourself you are a good vibe soul, and you are willing to help in changing the world to a place of love, a place of forgiveness, people living with honesty, and united as one. And for that wonderful soul, stick around because some fire episode will be coming soon. I am Y311H, just in case you didn't get my name. Till next time, man. Bye bye, peace and love. Good vibes.